Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel. Welcome to a GT Sport Daily Race C highlights reel from this week's race, which is Group 1 at Monza. And in this video, it's, as I said, a little bit of a highlights reel. We're going to take a look at the good, the bad and the ugly. So here's the settings for this one. It was 12 laps around Monza, tyre wear at times 8, fuel at times 2, just the racing medium tyres available. So no strategy for this one, which in my opinion was a little bit of a problem because there was just no way to avoid the madness. And of course with Group 1 cars at Monza, let's be honest, these high speed machines into a track that features what, 4 heavy braking zones, carnage was always going to ensue. And as I said, without any strategy there was no way of escaping the madness if you ended up in the mid pack or towards the rear. And so we have certainly been involved in plenty of instances as we have raced this combo this week. If you joined me for the live stream on Tuesday, then that was fairly painful on my part. Just too many mistakes, too many punts, too many all sorts of shenanigans. It really did dampen my enthusiasm for this race for the rest of the week. But sit back and enjoy some highlights from my racing over the course of Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm going to start with what you really do expect to have in Monza, I suppose, and that is plenty of punts off the track. So into Parabolica there, on the racing line, somebody hits it from behind. We go wide, we go from 9th down to 14th by the end of turn number 1. I just added this one in here because this is a little bit of an overtaking fail on my part. Completely missed the braking zone, don't even come remotely close to taking the corner, don't even attempt to take the corner, to be perfectly honest with you. In this one here, the Turkish driver goes off the track, comes back on, we hybrid straight into him. We are past them into Lesmo number 1, but yeah, they've probably got dirty tyres, they just run us off the track, and that was us last by around about 7 seconds in that one. This is the same race here, we had kind of recovered up to P14, it wasn't going too bad, still a little bit of the race to go. But the French driver is going to go wide into Lesmo 2. We do our very best to avoid them, but the ghosting system kind of fails us. And of course, the French driver has a little bit of a bump, carries on up the track, and we end up facing backwards and against the barrier. Standard fare turn 1 shenanigans in the Peugeot 908 here. This one actually nearly broke my wrist. I don't know what happened, but the wheel basically tried to rip my wrist off. It was actually quite painful. An overtaken fail there by Fatalist Christ into the second chicane. Standard fare Monza as well. Another standard fare Monza turn 1 as we get punted off the track at the start of the race. This one was a little bit of a weird one. I kind of have to take a little bit of responsibility here. We kind of moved across the line of the Spanish driver, but we get reset from the second chicane as well, which is never very nice, particularly at the start of the race because you lose so many positions. Another standard fare turn 1, this time on lap number 2. You can just see the shenanigans going on behind. We get punted into, and again we don't kind of just end off the track a little bit and just lose a couple of seconds. We end up as far off the track as you can possibly get. Luck was not on our side either here. We were going to make up 3 positions, but the ghosting system let us down. We actually went through the car serving the penalty and lost around about 20 miles an hour, which kind of put us in amongst the mix of those drivers behind us. Again, that driver went off wide at Lesmo number 1. I kind of expect them to ghost, they didn't. We hit them, we spin. Again, we never lose 2 seconds, we always lose lots and lots of time. It wasn't all doom and gloom, there was some good racing, although this was quite a controversial incident on stream. We thought we'd closed the door off to Klajax there. I don't think he realised that it actually runs out of track at that point. We tried to go side by side through the chicane, but we kind of very difficult to go side by side, but we sorted that out, all good, no real harm done between me and Klajax. We had some good side by side here with Viticus going through the first chicane here, so it is possible. The Spanish driver behind was also quite involved with the racing there, and eventually we managed to get the move made on our fellow Brit down into turn number 1. But some good racing there with Viticus. He made it pretty difficult for us to pass, but all good and fair racing, which is what you want to see, although I have come across some very desperate defending as well. We had a good battle with Doubtinator. Basically we played a game of my car is really fast down all the straights and your car is really fast out of Lesmo 2. We played this game for around about 8 laps. As you can see, lap 4 was the first clip there, and at lap 11 we were in exactly the same circumstances. basically this is the problem of the Toyota versus the Audi. The Toyota is pretty quick. It can kind of set a very, very similar lap time to the Audi, maybe a couple of times slower, but it is a more comfortable car to drive. But it's just very, very difficult to overtake an Audi. Be good to race with the Audinator. Luck did occasionally smile on us, the two drivers there having a bit of an instant out of turn number 1, allowing us to gain 2 positions on the last lap. And again here in P4, the Spaniard going for a little bit of a naughty move with a penalty on the Dutch driver here. So we knew we were going to get the Spaniard with the penalty, but the Dutch driver is in the Audi, and this is where the Toyota's advantage with the hybrid actually came into force. The Audi running out of hybrid and allowing us to make the move up into P number 2. We weren't all sweetness and innocence ourselves though. We did occasionally kill somebody. The Polish driver, in my opinion, kind of moved across my line there, a bit similar to the one where the Spanish driver kind of punted me at the second chicane, so I didn't feel too bad about that one. We'd had a good battle with this Spanish driver for most of the race, and for my opinion went for a bit of a stupid move into turn number 1 on lap 12 there, so I wasn't too happy with that. Got the elbows out. This was just bad driving on my part as we take Fearless Christ out into the Ascari chicane, and again we kind of repeated this kind of bad driving on the French driver. Toe tense, just the slightest little touch there. Felt quite bad about that one. The French driver had sat behind us for a few laps, but I've had that done to me several times over, so I don't actually attempt to make a move around the outside of Ascari because it just doesn't work. We were defending here from Brackus, but we kind of completely missed our braking point. We went wide, gave that driver nowhere to go. That's not the way to defend. It's just kind of giving the other driver no part of the track to work on, so we let Brackus back through. We did eventually pick up a victory, but it was because we were in drop split after killing the Polish driver, and the results did start to get a little bit better, finishing with a podium here. But if we look at the driver in P1, it's our friend King Ears, who drops into the streams repeatedly. So there you have it, a little bit of a highlight reel from my adventures around Monza. Let me know how your races have been going. We've actually started to get some slightly better results as the week has progressed, kind of got on top of the Audi and its hybrid system, but that doesn't mean we haven't been involved in the odd incident as well. It is Monza after all, it's what Monza does. Monza is always going to involve you ending up in a barrier. So again, let me know how your race has been going. Please do hit that like button, please do that subscribe button if you like what I'm doing on the channel, and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye now.